Well, here we are back in the quartz country again. We've got these piles of quartz hills here. They're sort of running, dotting their way along. Another one over there. Now, this is top country out here. Got those big ranges out there. Back over that ways towards Mount Augustus, and the line of the Ashburton River is a few k's off in that direction. Now, just looking back down this way, I can see another gum line. It must be another branch off of a creek that we'll be going through, and that's what you're looking for out here. It's always worth getting up on top of these. Back in that stonish sort of country again, so I'll take the advantage to get a view. I can see down here the country's getting a bit sandier, and we're going to be working our way along the foot of this range over here. But anyway, another creek line, quartz, big range, Ashburton River. It's a great view and a great place to visit. Just out here in camp, here he is again, Neil Guru Waters. We just found him up there. I was wondering what that was on the hill. There he is. Now, he's bought some interesting things out here. We've got a book on health and disease for camels. Always good to learn that stuff as you're going. But the other great one he's got is some of these really old and some of the original photos of some of the early days with the camels here in Australia. Now, some of these I can see. These are some of the original ones that you'll see in books and up on museum walls. These are actual originals. He's got a heap here, so we're going to check these out. Absolutely classic bit of camel history. This is so cool. This is like full proper history. Australian camel history. This is actually extremely rare. I never ever knew these existed. Here he is, the old fella with his leopard skin blanket on his camel. So I've seen these pictures in books, seen them on the internet. Look here. This one here, this is one of the full originals. It's in Barker's book. That's the actual photo. Where was it? From the museum?
From Western Australian Museum.
Western Australian Museum.
Yep.
The old wagons here. That's another one that you've seen in the books. This is classic. This is like living history. Originals.
Sandalwood collector.
There he is there with his sandalwood. The old single grey style wagon. What a blessing to get here. Middle of nowhere with our camels, catch up with Nearly Waters over here. Look at this one. You've seen that one in books too. All the big loads and the packs on their back. Another one there with the traditional Afghans. Very, very old photos. He's got a whole box full of them over here. So it's a good time to pull up. We're going to go through a few of these photos and reminisce on the old days. It's always good to do this. It gives you a bit of inspiration. Keeps you in the game, keeps you going. Keeps you on top of your game too. What a classic. Such a big history in Australia with the camels. It's not always known exactly what they did here. In fact, I bet majority of Australians probably don't even realise that camels were even introduced to do such big things. But the history, it's incredible. And seeing this, it's like live history. It's that little connection to the old days, seeing these photos. And it's pretty incredible. Now, if these camels ever complain, I could just show them a photo like that, show them that's what their grandfathers used to do. That's some massive loads. So basically, out in this country, especially in drought, they were such well needed animals, carrying those big loads to all the remote stations. Over 80% of Australia was opened up by camels back in the day. So they're definitely worth their place in history. Here's another really very, very clear shot there of the old wagon teams. They used to work them up through here. When we were at Mount Phillip Station, there was a photo there of the camels walking out of the homestead with the big wagon loads. Now, wagons were something that was started here in Australia. They didn't work massive teams in wagons overseas. It was mostly pack camels or the little single axle sort of dray things. But over here, they put them into teams, and it was incredible the loads that they used to pull. That great book by H.M. Barker, Camels in the Outback, probably one of the best reads of the history of camel wagons here in Australia. But yeah, pretty awesome to see these old pictures. So the plan is now, we don't want to walk him with a bit of a sore foot along that stony track. He's going on the trailer. So he gets the chauffeured ride till we get into Parabadoo and give him a good chance to have a rest. So we'll put the other guys in a string, they can walk along. We've got to get this bloke on the trailer. I'm sure you're going to love that. Take him a little while to get used to it. He won't know what it is. You spin him out a little bit, but once he's on there, doesn't have to walk on that foot. He'll be right. He'll be loving it. He'll be travelling along like the Pope while the other guys are doing all the work. Anyway, fella, hey, we'll look after you. So when you do this for the first time with the new Camel, you can see we've got our trailer in a bit of a dip. There's a little bit of a rise up there. This makes the ramp a little bit less steep for him, a bit easier to walk on. I'm going to make my life easy here. Put 2 ropes on him. That way I can shimmy him bit by bit. And we'll see how you go, eh, big fella? Hey, you're all right, boss. He's a little bit spun out. He's wondering why he's standing here with no saddle on at the moment when all the boys have been done. He's not used to this. So, and I'm sure he's going to be right. He's going to love it. You're right, big fella. Hey, a little rope around you. Yeah. So I'm just going to get up here, run 1 rope over the bar here. So I've got one already locked in. Just a simple one like that. And it's just a matter of applying a bit of pressure. Now with these camels, they can pull back really tight. So it's good to get a couple of wraps, but make sure you can get that rope off if you need to. So I'm just wrapping it back there. Down there, big fella. And just get his head into place for now. He might swing around a few times. This can take time. They can go on. But if it takes us till midnight, we've got to be here till midnight. We can't give up on him. Got the second rope there. Going to do basically the same here. We'll just put it on this bar. We're just going to try and get his head in. A couple of wraps. It just gives me a chance to lock it on. So I'm just going to stand in here at first. Okay, you're going to walk up, big fella. Walk up, big fella. I've got 2 ropes to play with here. Put my foot on one, second one in. Back to the first one. Coming up, big fella. And I'm just pushing him out the side just to guide his head on a little bit there. Walk up. Walk up, mate. Good boy. Walk up. Up, 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 up. Knees up there. Got the knees on. That's a start. Inch by inch as we go.
I'll just shift red.
No Don't want to panic him too much there. Just let him sit, let him have a chance to have a look. All the gear's been put on this side, so it's a little bit of a scene for the camel. Just going to lock that one off, just so he doesn't get back. But for his first time, that's a good start, just to get his knees on the trailer and have a look. It's all right, big fella. Hey, not going to hurt you. So just letting him relax here a little bit, get used to the trailer. We don't want to panic him because he could sit all day and all night, but we've got his knees on there. So when he does go to get up, we've got to get that rope in, nudge him forward so he gets his foot on there. But the aim of the game is to try and get the feet past this pole. So he doesn't step off there and lock his shoulder into that. Can take a little while. Now people can panic in this situation or get a bit heady with them, start kicking them to get up. Right, there's even old stories of people lighting fires under camels to get their bum off the ground. Not necessary. This is the best way to do it. It's a little bit of patience, a little bit of time, and just try and outthink your animal a little bit. Anyway, he's offered us a good challenge here, so we will win this before the sun goes down. All right, big fella. Do you want to grab that rope on the door? Good boy. Where do I go? Now Neil's having a great escape because the last thing you want to do is get hooked up inside there with a bull. Bucket here. Put your foot on the bucket. You're just trying to get me to kick the bucket. That's it, we're all safe now. Here he goes. Walk up, big fella. Walk up there, big fella. That's it. That's it. Good boy. So you can see all those stories about bulls. Working pretty close here, there's no danger here. He's pretty good, they're pretty sturdy. Just got to get those back legs on now. So we've just got one foot down here, stuck on the thing like that. Okay, now not a bad position here. He's obviously not too phased about me being behind. I'm just trying to shove him. But yeah, be careful doing this because they can throw a bit of a nasty kick. Come on, big fella. That's him. All right, you got him, big fella. Well, that's it. We got him on there. It's probably been, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. Get him on there. I wouldn't call it stubborn. You try and drag me on the trailer and see what happens. So it's just a matter of getting him on pretty calm, letting him stand there, getting used to it. And hopefully, because we're going to have to do this every day till we get him in somewhere or his foot starts getting a little bit better. So it's worth it because if he really hurts that foot, he could be stuck for months. So they do get a little injury. It's good to be able to do this. It's good to get him used to it anyway. Hey, getting used to the trailer. That way later on when we get onto the major highways with all the mining vehicles, we might have to shift through with the trailer, so it's probably good we're doing this with him now. Give him a little bit of exercise, a bit of training there. So, but anyway, he's on. He doesn't look too stressed out about it. Hey, you forgive me, big boss? You're a good fella, aren't you? Not too stressed. Neither are you, do you? You love seeing your mate doing that, don't you? You big cheeky bugger. So we just come out of this country here. The old mate on the trailer there, give him a bit of a treat. We've got into this nice succulent, another form of saltbush, and there's a fair bit around here. It's full of moisture. Crack it up. You can see the moisture in my hand there. This is really good for the camels and they absolutely love it. So a little bit of a treat for them. It's pretty rare out here where we are, so I'm taking the opportunity to stop. I'll put some in a bucket here. Hang it over the trailer. Now he's sort of missing his mates up there, wondering what's going on, but it's been great for his foot. Already, his foot's looking better, but we'll keep him on there. There's no point in pulling him straight off when he's just healing up over there. So we'll keep him on the trailer, and this is all good for his training. and he's taken it quite well. He's feeling like the king up there. Got his mates. I'm just walking alongside the trailer there, just to keep him with him. But we'll pull up and give everyone a nice saltbush feed. Anyway, that'll be his treat, riding the trailer. Yeah, big boss. Bit of a prize in there for all your favourite saltbushes. Hey, good boy. Now you can see that full of spines and prickles. Okay, stuff sticks in your hands, it's pretty horrible. Hey, Mungie loves that. Mungie knows this sort of stuff. He gets this stuff, it grows not far from the country he comes from. Stand there, mate, I've got to give some to your mates. Have a look at you. Hey, you want a bit there? Come on. Mungie, you're a pig. There you go, big fella. You have a little trim there. Little bit of a treat for him for doing pretty good. Hey. Now if you get enough of this bush, they won't need a drink at all. It's full of moisture. It's also full of little spikes and prickles and everything. Part of the job out here as a camel driver.